back. You're watching Plain Speak. Well, tension between the DMK government and the Raj Bhavan are not new to the state assembly, viewers. But the DMK is gunning for the governor once again and has planned large-scale protests against him. Has also held him responsible for repeating the walkout from state assembly gesture for a third consecutive time. At the heart of this controversy is a request by Governor RN Ravi that the national anthem be played in the assembly. The governor alleged disrespect to the national anthem and the constitution and walked out of the state assembly without reading his customary address on the first day of the winter session. The DMK is now seeking the removal of the governor and says he's habitual of violating his constitutional practices. But do remember, the ongoing conflict between the DMK government and the governor in Tamil Nadu have a history of asserting regional autonomy. And now at the heart of this controversy is this incident during the winter session of the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly. So here's what happened and here's how it's placed when we talk about both the versions. Governor RN Ravi has accused Tamil Nadu Assembly of insulting the national anthem during the winter session. In response, the DMK has defended the practice of the national anthem not being sung at the beginning of the legislative session, stating that it was introduced in 1991 during the AIADMK government. The governor has gone further, emphasizing that not singing the national anthem in Tamil Nadu Assembly is a serious issue, implying that such actions undermine the honor of the constitution and national identity. The DMK has turned the tables, accusing Governor RN Ravi of insulting the people of Tamil Nadu with his actions. The governor has also labelled the actions of Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly and the ruling DMK as brazen disrespect to the constitution by not adhering to the standard practices expected in legislative assemblies across the country. On the other hand, DMK calls the governor's behaviour as an attempt to create political theatre and attempt to sow discord. Now, the big question we ask is, given this national anthem row that's come in and the governor staging a walkout once again, was the governor well within his rights in staging this walkout? What do facts indicate? We'll talk about that and much more. But first up, the political reactions.
DMK government has insulted the nation.
The DMK government once again proved that they are anti-national.
Well, Tom Vadakan, national spokesperson of the BJP, along with Deshratan Nigam, loyal political analysts, continue to stay on with us. We'll try and go across to a DMK voice in no time as well. But Mr. Vadakan, what do you make of this? You know, the allegation being levelled once again against the governor is that he's always acted at the behest of the BJP and the central government must withdraw him as the governor of Tamil Nadu, given these repeated incidents that have come to light.
I think the DMK should read the National Anthem code, which clearly indicates across the country a certain procedure to be followed, a constitutional position to be followed. And that has been defied. The logic is about regional and autonomy, but the underlying feature of this whole issue is appeasement. This is also a game to please certain section of society, and that is the hidden agenda. Now they have created this bogey that the governor is, walking out. What will the governor do if the national anthem is insulted? He has no other option. He can't stand by and say, well, that's the way it runs. He has to stand by and he is Vadakan, the upholder of the constitution.
You know, the DMK has cited the fact that this is a norm and is being followed by, repeated governments in the state since 1991. That's when the AIDMK was in power. And the norm is the state following a practice wherein the state anthem is played at the beginning of the address and the national anthem is played after.
That is what they have been saying. I mean, I submit that, yes, they have been saying that. But the National Anthem Code is very categorical on this. Why is Tamil Nadu separate from the other part of the country? Whether it's Uttar Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, or Kerala, or any other state, it is a procedure that is followed. If they don't follow it by default, they have to explain, not the governor.
Okay, Mr. Deshratan Nigam, Raj Bhavan has also been citing constitutional practices and precedent. But what do you make of this? Are states entitled to follow their own practices when it comes to assembly sessions such as this? Can they have the state anthem played at the beginning of a governor's address and the national anthem after?
Well, Christine, in fact, there is an act which is the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act of 1971, which is very categorical. Under that particular act, directive has been issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs, where it is said, in the case of the president and governors, during the address, where the address is being done to the assembly, before beginning of the address, at the end of the address, national anthem has to be played and everybody has to stand up. This is the law. Now, since 1991, as everybody is talking about, and if you look at Mr. Annamalai's ex-post, where he has clearly said in 1991, the practice started, both the state Tamil song and the national anthem were being played in the beginning and afterwards. Now, somewhere down the line, somebody, violated this particular code of conduct and deleted the national anthem from the beginning and went to the end of the presidential address. Both the national anthem and the Tamil song invoking Tamil Mother can be played in the beginning and should be played in the end.
We do
also.
have Mr. Dharnedharan, spokesperson of the DMK, with us as well. But to quickly ask you before I go across to him, it's a norm which is being followed by other states as well. Mr. Deshratan Nigam, there are other states that have their own provision in place in state assemblies with regards to when and how the national anthem should be played.
Well, in fact, the act which I just cited, 1971, it extends to whole of India. Not that it extends to one state and doesn't extend to any other state.
Okay.
And therefore, if you have your own song, but national anthem has to be played also at the beginning and at the end. You cannot have a precedent saying that you will violate that particular act of 1971 or the code of conduct which is there. So both the songs can be played right at the beginning and at the end.
Okay.
Somewhere down the line in Tamil Nadu, that practice was given up, and therefore this controversy, and governor cannot stand there and see the insult of the national anthem. He had, I think, rightly walked out. Either he would have been accused of violating the particular act and watching it in front of him.
Okay, Mr. Dharnedharan, how would you respond? It was a mere appeal that came in from the governor, says Deshratan Nigam ji. Both the state anthem and the national anthem could be played at the beginning of his speech. It's an appeal to have the national anthem played. We all take pride in the national anthem of the country. Why not just give in and adhere to it instead of creating so much of a political controversy, which we see today?
No, I think you can, how much ever you flip, how much ever you can retrospectively speak, whatever you want. He went, he walked away. Every year he needs a reason. In fact, yesterday when I woke up, the last year's memory was governor walking out of the assembly. That was the same thing. 2-year memory was also the same. Each time the reason is different. So the reason has not been the same. In fact, when he was the governor, for the first time when he was attending the assembly, Tamil Thai Valthu was played, and then national anthem was played. When the national anthem was being played, the governor walked away. So then has he not insulted the national anthem? I think your channel also had a debate on it. I only came and spoke that national anthem is being played, and the governor walks away. Now he comes and says, I requested. When did he request? Even if he requested, we've given a clarification. That's all. This has been the practice since 91. It's not that it was started in 2024 January, or not. It's not even the practice that was started in 2021 June or 2022 January. It's been the practice since 91, and this is within the state, right? In fact, Karnataka has even launched their own flag, state flag. It's all within the rights of the state. That doesn't mean that we become anti-national. For example, even in Canada, Quebec has separate flag, separate anthem is played first, played last. So even every country, even in unitary nations, states have a lot of federal rights. Even in Germany, individual states have flag, they have songs that's played first and the end. So who's creating the controversy
So
here?
you're saying this is no
Right.
brazen disrespect to the constitution and the national anthem, Mr. Dharnidharan?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think brazen. There's no question. I think only one person is disrespecting the constitution. That is the governor, and second is the BJP party. I'll tell you how the governor is disrespecting the constitution. He's an appointee, right? As a constitutional debate happened in the late 1940s, the discussion was can the governor be elected? Then they said no, there should no election happen for the governor because if he elects, there may be a parallel government. He has only constitutional duties, no power, no functions. That was written in the Constitutional Assembly debates. So that clarifies. Even the Supreme Court verdicts, consecutive verdicts have said governor is nothing but shorthand expression of the State Council of Ministers. As recent as Justice Nagesh Rao has pronounced the same judgment. So if the governor is reading it differently and then behaving as an elected representative, then who's violating the constitution here?
Okay,
right?
this is no
I'm
insult to
saying
the
constitutional
constitution
debate,
or the national anthem. All right, Mr. Nigam and Mr. Vadakan, how do you respond to Mr. Dharnidharan's arguments?
I think I have to point out one of the articles of the Constitution of India, which is 51(1)(a), which is of fundamental duties, which clearly talks of respecting the national anthem. And based on that,
How
and
would the
also
national
the
anthem be disrespected? You call all these people
1971 Act. Please hold on, listen to me, then you will be able to
How was it
reply
disrespecting?
properly.
Is the national anthem not being played?
Arey
What was this gentleman doing when he walked away when the national anthem was being played?
First you listen to me, then you can reply. Otherwise, you will
If
be
he talks something
looking
illogical, then it kind of
Arey,
tests my
you will have your
patience. No?
time.
I'm coming to you,
will have
sir.
your time.
Mr.
You will
Dharnidharan,
have your
you'll be
time.
allowed to respond to what he's saying. Let him complete. Yes, Mr. Nigam.
Therefore, fundamental duty given in 51, Article 51(1)(a), and also the 1971 Act, which I was talking about, and under that, the directions which have been issued, and they have been upheld constitutionally valid. They have not been set aside. So it has to be followed. Those are and that particular Act of 1971 applies to entire country. You can have your state song, but you also have to play at the beginning and the end the national song as well. Nobody is disrespecting anything. And at the same time, when you have a national flag and a state flag, national flag has to be above the state flag. These are the directions which are given in the rules, laws framed under the Constitution, constitutionally valid by the Supreme Court also, because that issue of flag hoisting also came up before Supreme Court when Mr. Naveen Jindal got the right through Supreme Court for hoisting the flags. Before that, there was a flag code of 1951, which prevented people from hoisting the flag. So these are the issues which have already been dealt by the court. So you can't say you will not be playing or singing national anthem before the beginning of the address of the governor.
Okay, Mr. Dharnidharan, I'll let you come in, I promise, but a quick rebuttal to Mr. Vadakan as well. Mr. Vadakan, how do you respond to how the DMK is reading into the Governor's Act?
I think Mr. Nigam has very categorically stated the positions that have been from 71 to the other regulations he has mentioned. I'll only reiterate them. And the point here is I have made this accusation that this is all to do with their appeasement agenda. Why else are they objecting to the national anthem being played? And you can play the Tamil anthem after that. But no, they won't do it. They will do it to appease, garner certain communities' votes. And they want to show the kind of disrespect to the national anthem, which they are regularly at it. And why?
Okay.
Simple reason is the law and order system has failed. There are murders in the streets. There are rapes happening. And they are not concerned about it. They're concerned about the governors walking out. These are DMK cadre people whom they are covering up. These are the issues that need to be addressed.
Okay. So,
And
problem with the
diverse
BJP, the Mahila Morcha wing of the Bharatiya Janata Party, several others who are, taking to streets to raise, for instance, justice in the Anna University sexual assault case. But you will take to streets, Mr. Dharnidharan, BJP says, when it comes to the Governor's Act, where he's merely just demanding that the national anthem be played. If that can end this kind of friction between the governor and the ruling DMK, what's the harm, sir?
I think more the BJP spokesperson speak, more that makes me laugh. I think should there
I know.
The BJP spokesperson
I know you are at a
made
circus.
synonymous, maybe
No,
made
you are at
synonymous
a
being
circus
incoherent,
that you are
non-logical.
laughing,
How horrendous. There's no logic anywhere in what they speak.
I
The
mean,
gentleman
what
says
you are
because
saying
Tamil
is
Thai Valthu is being
illogical.
played in the
You are
beginning, we are appeasing. They are doing appeasement
diverting an
politics.
issue.
Can
You
you
have
keep quiet?
failed in the
Can you
law
please
and
keep quiet?
order. You have created
keep
a
quiet?
situation of murder in the streets.
Oh,
rape
what? 151
in
BJP.
universities. And you
Mr.
have no
Vadakkal.
Can we keep quiet?
Mr. Vadakkal,
I
we'll
want
let
to
him
ask
respond.
What is happening is
Mr.
a
Vadakkal, we'll
cover-up
try.
operation.
We'll try.
I'm sorry.
We'll try and go across to as many voices to cover this up. But let him respond, Mr. Dharnidharan.
No. Firstly and foremost, is amusing to me. Tamil Nadu is the most peaceful state as per NCRB data. Even this year, per day 5 rapes are happening in Uttar Pradesh. That doesn't mean I'm justifying this act. They come and complain about Tamil Nadu. I'll tell you, he's saying playing Tamil Thai Valthu is appeasement politics. How? What is the logic? Who's doing politics here? This has been the procedure since '91. If it is violating the constitution, why was the Supreme Court keeping quiet so far? Right? Many states are doing this. So because you cannot come and lie in a national media or say whatever you want to say, like playing Tamil Thai Valthu is appeasement. How is appeasement? Tamil Thai Valthu is pride. That doesn't mean that we are disrespecting the national anthem. In every government function in Tamil Nadu since 1970s, first Tamil Thai Valthu and second national anthem. That doesn't mean that if you're going sung in last is disrespecting. And nowhere in the constitution it says that Tamil Thai Valthu should be sung in the national anthem should be played in the beginning. National anthem has to be played. Which is played is a prerogative of the organizer. That is here in the state assembly. The states have the prerogative. There is no insult.
Okay. Last word to Deshratan Nigamji. And sir, okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
10 seconds.
Well, in fact,
Who gave BJP the right to define who's national and who's anti-national? BJP the most anti-national party. I don't know how in certain states they win elections, but I'm telling you, any socio-economic metric, even law and order, Tamil Nadu does better than any.
Okay,
BJP
we have the last
state.
few
I
seconds,
don't
Mr.
know.
Dharnidharan. Sorry
all
to
the
interrupt
rapes
you
that
there.
are happening
But Mr.
and
Deshratan
DMK
Nigam, and I do
cover-up.
want a neutral perspective on this. What does the rule book suggest? Mr.
I-
Dharnidharan says each house follows its own convention, and we've seen that apply to a few state assemblies as well.
Well, in fact, Mr. Dharnidharan admitted that first that Tamil song was played and then the national song should be played. But the
Then,
trend today
the
is
same assembly
the
proceeding, not
trend
immediate- not
trend
at the
today
beginning of the
is
session, not at the end of
what
the
is
session.
happening today is that in the beginning only the Tamil song is played and after the address of the governor the national song is played, which is violative of the act and the directives. Please understand that this is what you have been following. That in the beginning you only have the Tamil song, not the national anthem, and in the end you are having national anthem. That is the violation. In which order you do, it is your discretion. But it is clear violation of the act.
And
which is
Mr.
applicable to entire
Dharnidharan
India.
to that is proposing a
No
legal
violation.
challenge at the governor's end. But that's
No,
all the time I have, gentlemen. So I'm afraid we'll have to wrap it up with that. Thank you so much. The concern here is also the other run-ins that we've seen between the Tamil Nadu governor and the ruling DMK. So we'll take